Hi, I'm Chris from Young Urban Farmers. In this video, we're going to learn how to harvest some basil, some oregano, and some thyme. And I have all three of these plants in a self-watering container right here in front of me. To harvest the plants, the general rule of thumb with most herbs and most greens is you don't want to take more than 1/3 of the plant at any given time, as that will stress out the plant and potentially cause it to put its energy into producing flowers rather than into tender leaves that we like to eat and to enjoy. We're going to first learn about how to harvest basil. And generally, I recommend people to cut individual stems of basil rather than pinch off individual leaves. The reason for this is that cutting off the stems encourages new branching and new growth to occur, which generally means higher yields throughout the entire season. To harvest the basil, we're going to look for one of the basil stems, and we're going to look for an area where there's a little bit of new growth happening. So for example, in this stem right here, there's some new growth that's happening here, and some new growth that's happening right in here. So as long as we cut above where some new growth is happening, the plant will branch out and produce some new growth for us. And we can use all of the leaves, we can even use the stem in flavoring our different soups and stews as well. When we're harvesting oregano, this oregano is just about to flower right now, so we want to cut all of that down to a more manageable level. And again, we're going to be looking to cut the plants above where we see some new growth happening. If we cut too far down where there's no new growth below it, we might kill that individual branch and we might reduce the future yields of that plant. So anywhere you see some new growth happening, for example, there's some right here, there's some right here, we can be cutting above there, and that will help to control the shape of the plants, and that will help to encourage new growth, new leaves, more deliciousness for all of our plants and our cooking. So we can continue to cut a little bit more. And again, we don't want to cut more than 1/3 of the plant at any time. When it comes to the thyme, similar kind of idea. So our thyme is all right here. It's starting to spill over the side of the plants. And as long as we don't take more than 1/3, as long as we cut above where we see some new growth and some new development happening, the plant will continue to grow and to produce new leaves for us. So you can see I've cut this part of the thyme right here. I can cut a little bit more of the basil, train this to a more manageable shape, and as we continue to harvest these plants, it will continue to grow back and produce lots of great herbs for us to be cooking and using throughout the entire season. So that's how you harvest the basil, the oregano, and the thyme. You want to generally cut them rather than pinching off the individual leaves to maximize your harvest and to ensure that the plant continues to produce good leaves for you in the future.